Welcome guys, Lorink96 here, and today I'm going to be doing another figure review. So if you've seen my collection update, you know who's coming next. And that guy is Showa Anguirus from the 8-inch Bandai line. So yeah, this is the 8-inch Anguirus before I completely forget. Just so that you guys know that's not the 6-inch, which I guess is what most people have, considering this guy has gotten pretty rare over the years, so yeah. Anyway, I'll quickly go over his history because it's Anguirus, you know, he's part of Godzilla. Not very hard to recognize, but his first appearance was actually in Godzilla's Raids Again. We had a pretty different costume, or suit, and it was the first movie where Godzilla actually fought another monster, and ironically, Godzilla just basically kicked Anguirus' ass as normal, but, well, it's not as normal then, but it does later on. So then, later on, he appeared in many other movies, like he appeared in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, Godzilla's Revenge, where he was like stock footage, Destroy All Monsters, Godzilla vs. Gigan, and a bunch more I'm probably forgetting, but whatever. And yeah, so this guy's just been in a lot of appearances, and he's basically considered Godzilla's like best buddy in the Showa era. And the one thing about Anguirus, though, is he's always like the whipping boy. He literally always gets beaten up in every movie, and it always leaves Godzilla to have to save him, but whatever, what can you do? Yeah, so that's Anguirus' history. And quickly, before I go on to the figure, here's his tag. Yeah, this is from 1992, so yeah, it's been a while since this guy's been released. And it's actually a pretty generic card, because if you look, it's just a picture of the Destroy All Monsters scene where King Ghidorah comes down and you got all the monsters that are about to fight him. And a plain white card, not much. It says 25, but that's actually not how much I paid for this guy. And, you know, just little other stuff. So, yeah, this is a pretty basic card. I mean, it doesn't really have any unique pictures of Anguirus. He's only off to the side right there. But, I guess, majority of the 8-inch old Bandai figures like this had this card, so, yeah. But anyway, let's get on to the figure himself. Now, this figure I actually really like. When you look at him in videos and stuff, you don't really get much off him because it's Anguirus, and he doesn't really... He's not a huge... not really detailed monster, per se. He's a pretty generic four-legged monster, but I still like him. He's always been one of my favorites. But, anyway, on to detail. Detail is pretty good on this guy. I mean, for an old figure such as this, he is made of hard vinyl, but they still got the detail well, especially on the face, because, you know, the face always has good detail, and well, at least for the figures I have. Yeah, the face has really good detail. Got all the etching in there. He's got that always, like, face look. I don't know how to say it, but he's always got that, his mouth made that way to just make him look like he's kind of smiling, but he's also, like, has this weird grin. I don't know. He's so weird, but yeah. Nice detail on the forehead. Now, for these scale parts, it's really weird because what Anguirus' real detail, like, on his body is really just supposed to be this kind of texture, where it's like this rockish texture. You know, like, kind of like Godzilla, how he's got this texture, except smaller and more bumpy, I guess. But instead they went for, like, this serpentine kind of scale look, which just looks really weird. But, at least it's not too bad to make the figure look really ugly, but, I guess purists aren't really gonna like this, but whatever. I think it's okay. Considering this is really one of the only good, Showa Anguirus figures you can get besides, like, Rebel Tech or anything like that. The backs doesn't have a lot of detail, but it still looks okay. And they're actually pretty sharp, if you like actually hit someone hard enough with this, it actually probably could hurt someone. And you got this spiky like tail, which seems a lot thicker than it was on the suit, considering, and on the suit it just like moved everywhere because it was a little extra piece. And I already showed you the underside, which is like this. And even the detail on the under feet right here and there, unlike this where it's just like flat. So yeah, detail on this figure is pretty good, considering he's a really old mold, and hasn't. Yeah, well, I don't think he's been reissued much, other than the 6-inch figures, which also came out a while ago. But yeah, now I'm on to scaling, considering I have all the figures right here. So first up, let's match him up with his buddy Godzilla. Now this is the 54 version, so yeah, it's going to look a little weird. I'll pull the 68 after, but I just wanted to show this for how it would look with a Raids Again kind of look. Even though they didn't use the 54 suit, they used a different suit. But considering this is the only 50 era Godzilla I have, it's the one that I'm going to have to work with. But anyway, enough rambling. This actually looks pretty good. Because the one thing I like about the 8-inch Anguirus, which the 6-inch kind of lacks in, is the height. Because even though it says 8-inch, he's really not huge like a 8-inch figure would be, like my 8-inch Final Wars Godzilla or GMK Godzilla, which are much, much bigger. But I guess what they think sizing-wise has changed over the years. But anyway, this does look pretty good. So you could kind of go for a Raids Again kind of look. And finally, well, not finally, but here is the 68 Godzilla. Yeah, this also looks pretty good. I think Anguirus might be a bit too big, but I'd much rather have it where he's too big rather than having him be too small. So yeah, this looks pretty good too. Because, I mean, if you kind of do it this way, he does look like he'd be about human size. So, yeah. Looks okay. And let me get out one of his enemies that he actually fought with Godzilla. Gigan. Yeah, again, this also looks pretty good. Just so you can reenact the scene where Anguirus runs his face right into Gigan's buzzsaw again. And actually, yeah, looks pretty good. So again, sizing's good. Two more. Here's another fellow 8-inch figure that I have. That's from the 90s, or what mold is this guy? He's 92. Yeah, same mold. Well, not mold. Excuse me, same year they were released. Baragon. Yeah, Baragon I think is a bit too big because it's Baragon. But, yeah, I guess this looks pretty good. It actually looks pretty cool, because they look like they'd go pretty well together, considering they're both, same era, same, vinyl use, I guess. I don't know how to say it, but whatever, they just look good together. And finally, if you guys don't have any of those other figures, which I bet you have at least one or two, here's an Ultraman monster that my guess is most of you have. Gomora. Now this one's kind of weird. I think Gomora needs to be bigger or Anguirus needs to be a bit smaller here because, I don't know, Gomora looks a little too small here. But, whatever, you guys can make that work. Again, I'd much rather have it be too big rather than too small. So yeah. Say what you want about this one. I think it's okay. Because I think everything's okay. And now on to Articulation. Now Articulation, just looking at the guy, you're already gonna think there's like nothing. And there really isn't. Because I mean, all you can do with the legs are make him go like this. Considering my guy is pretty old, you can't really move him well, so that's the best you're really going to get out of him. You don't think you can make him do a sitting pose like that because it's just legs look really stupid. But the main legs you'd want to move are these ones. So you can, like, put him up like this so he's laying down or getting hit or something like that. Or I could put him up like this. You know, all sorts of things that you'd want to do. So yeah, and then he's got slight head articulation, but mine is incredibly stiff, so I'm not going to move that. And there's no no tail articulation because there's no seam. So yeah, he's got about 4 points, but 2 of them are incredibly limited, and the other 2 are, they still can't do much, so. But you gotta expect that with someone like Anguirus, because when you just look at him, you're just gonna know that he's not gonna be a very movable figure. This is mainly what he's supposed to do, so. Other than, you know, ram or whatnot, but whatever. And, last part is the paint job. Now, the paint job, I think it's okay. I don't really know 100% what his full paint job's supposed to look like. I think this is pretty accurate. If not this coloring tone, like this brownish gray color. Yeah, that's what the color kind of is. It might need to be a bit darker or a bit lighter. I'm not 100% sure. I'm always confused by the coloring of Anguirus, but I know the spike design on this looks really nice. The coloring is like this bronze, bronze. Jeez, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna say it, but you guys know what I mean. Bronze. There you go. Sorry, bronze-like look, with a hint of. Well, it's mixed in with this other tone too. So, and he's pretty shiny when you put it in the light, too. So yeah. And he's got the same coloring for, like, his head crest horns, his main horn, his kind of, like, a dragon-like teeth, and his normal teeth, claws there, and on the underside, unlike this one, which is kind of weird. And then he's got this really white, like, dark white, and weird coloring for the eye, because it's the same color as his body, so, yeah, that looks a little weird. But yeah, overall, I think the paint job's pretty good. It's accurate. The only other paint job 8-inch wise is the Memorial Box version, which is a lot like lighter brown. I trying to remember it. Don't remember. I think it's just a light brown with like a gold back or something like that. And the 6 inches have different coloring too. Like there's the 6-inch gray one from the Memorial Box and the 6-inch brown one that was like this dark brown, except it wasn't this dark, and had this much lighter tone for the back. But I think this is the best Anguirus you could get, paint job wise. So yeah, that's my Anguirus figure review. So overall, his detail's pretty good. In some areas, it's a little weird. Like, why is there serpentine scales on his legs? But whatever. His scaling's pretty good, especially with like the Godzillas and Gigan, and I'm pretty sure King Ghidorah would be good. I didn't want to pull him out because I'm sick of pulling out Mecha King Ghidorah because it's the only Ghidorah-like figure I have, other than the GMK. But whatever. And the articulation's good. Well, no, it's not really good. I mean, again, it's Anguirus, so you just gotta have that in mind. I mean, you just look at him and you're like, yeah, he's not gonna move very much, but you gotta accept that if you really want this figure. So yeah, the articulation's pretty bad. Well, it's not bad, it's just limited. And paint job is pretty good. Accuracy-wise, I know this bronzish color on the back. I still can't say bronze. Stupid lisp braces thing. Whatever. And then this main color on the skin. I'm pretty sure it's accurate, but I could be completely wrong on that. So yeah, don't hold me against that or whatnot. So all in all, I'll probably just give this guy a normal 4 out of 5. I mean, the only thing that I really don't like on this figure is the articulation, but you're gonna have to accept that because it's Anguirus. Otherwise, all the other points are pretty good. Detail's a little weird, but whatever, it's fine. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'm sorry it took almost like 15 minutes. I've been rambling way too much. But I didn't really discuss how rare this guy is. I should go over that really quickly. Um, that is one thing about this guy. He's gotten much rarer over the time because, well, as I said, this guy is from 1992. So yeah, but I think he's the best Anguirus figure you can pick up, other than the Memorial Box version. I'd say go for either one of those two. The 8-inch Memorial Box version, to clear that up. So yeah, try to go for one of those two. They're the best Anguiruses in my opinion. Showa. Well, I think Showa Anguirus is just the best Anguirus. Period. So yeah, go for one of those two, and yeah, if you really want this Anguirus figure, and I'd recommend like $20 or less, because you wouldn't really want to pay a lot of money for this guy, even if he is kind of getting rare, but whatever. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this bit of a long rant and review, whatnot, but whatever. Just stop. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Alright, see you guys later.